Hey, how y'all doing? I know it's been a minute. I haven't had any ideas, and we've been having a rough time over here, so that's that on that. But today we're going to do something that I actually really enjoy doing, which is getting ready, aka putting on makeup. I've already done about half of the get ready with me process, which is usually like hair and clothes. That's because I knew my hair was gonna take a minute, so I already did that and got that out of the way with, and it did take me 2 hours. So that's always fun. My favorite thing, looking crooked and lopsided. My face, I believe, is asymmetrical. God does have his favorites, and I was not the chosen one. Now I still look good, don't get it twisted. As you can see, one eyebrow is lower. There looks like I have a slant, you know, it's just, we're having a great time. I actually got a new mirror. Looks like this. Yourself right there. I got this new thing, so that's what I'm gonna be looking in because I want to try it out. We're gonna be doing like some basic makeup, the things I usually do or have been doing lately. That's basically what that's how we're gonna do this. First things first, I like to prime my face because I do put on face makeup, and I've noticed that since I've started using a primer, my skin doesn't break out as much. I feel like when I wasn't using a primer and I was just beating my face with blush and highlighter, like, it wasn't helping. And I have acne prone skin, like, I can't be out here running around with a primer. The primer we're going to be using is the e.l.f. This is the Poreless Face Primer. They have a lot of options for primer. Like, it's kind of overwhelming for me because I like doing makeup, but I'm not an expert. Like, I'm not a guru or anything like that. So when I saw all these options in front of me, I'm like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, what am I supposed to do? Just kind of sitting there pretty much guessing on what I should get. Like I said, I like doing makeup, so you're probably going to be seeing a lot of these get ready with me's for the sake of content and because it's content that I can provide. I think I got all of it. Okay, I also didn't really tell anyone I was filming right now, so hopefully no one walks in on me. Next, I usually do eyebrows. It's just how I like to do it. Depending on how I feel, I'll either use some soap and I'll do the soap brow, or if I'm feeling lazy, I'll just take this, just some clear mascara, really doesn't matter, and I'll just brush it. So that's what I'm gonna do today because I'm not really going anywhere, so I don't need to, like, even if I was going somewhere, I don't need to impress anyone, but I'm just not feeling very like, oh yeah, let's go crazy, let's make this look good.
But I don't know what it is, but it usually mixes with the moisturizer I have on, and so it'll create this like white stuff around my brow. If that happens to you, let me know. I feel like it doesn't happen to people. Like, I really don't know what the heck's happening. So I usually just tap it away. It's really not a big deal.
My thing with get ready with me is like, you're not supposed to tell people every little step you're doing because then that becomes a tutorial. But I feel like sharing everything I'm doing, so even though it's not a tutorial, it sounds like a tutorial. Does that make any sense? I usually just keep brushing until it gets to the point that I want it to be at, and then that's it for the brows. Like,
I don't film them in. If I do, it's very rare. Like, and it's just weird for me to film them because I don't usually film them. So when I do, they just look super dark, which is how they're supposed to look. You film them in, but they're just so defined, and it throws me off because I'm not used to having, like, I have defined brows in terms of thickness and shape. But opacity, that's what I'm looking for. It's like, it throws me off every day.
but it usually looks good in my pictures, so that's all that really matters. Usually, if I'm doing an eye look, that's what I start doing at this point. I don't feel like doing an eye look though, like, I really don't. So we're not.
The Polar Express is one of the best movies ever made. And you're not gonna argue with me about that. Tired of seeing the Polar Express slander on Twitter and Instagram.
My sister just opened my door and ranted about how The Polar Express is such a great movie. I've never seen it, so.
Well, you better get to watching it then.
I am trying to film here, and you keep busting in here screaming about Polar Express. Let me know if you agree. Is The Polar Express the greatest of all time? Like I said, never seen it. I do feel like I'm missing out on something, but at the same time, like, the people I grew up with never ranted and raved about The Polar Express, so I don't really feel like I missed out on anything. Now, it'd be different if every single person in my class... I'm taking it off. Yep, okay, I'm taking it off. I'm back. So then, take some rinky-dink powder. I beat the rinky-dink powder into my face. I call it rinky-dink because it really is rinky-dink. Like, it's not anything special, it's not anything spectacular. And it will have to do until I get something else. Go crazy, ah! So 2020 is almost over. It's kind of like, yay, but at the same time, it's also nerve-wracking because 2020 has shown us a lot of different things, and I mean a lot. And while it's like, yay, we're getting out of this hellhole, we're able to move on, we're able to go into a new year, clean slate. There are some things that have occurred in 2020 that can't really be ignored for me, and it's making me sort of anxious for the years to come because 2020 really set that flame, like it ignited that fire. And it's not like it just went away, even though a lot of people will try to say it did. It didn't. Specifically, the racial tension, it was bad. And then we had our election. He didn't win. And you know, all of his homies, his fan base, are obviously they're not pleased. And so with that coupled with the election, it's like, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I need to know because I got things I'd like to do with my life and I don't need it to be affected by crazy random events in 2021. I'm not gonna wish bad juju on it though because that's stupid. I'm not about to do that, but you know, you want to say yay to ending this year, but at the same time we still got more years after this year, and there were things that happened this year that won't just leave after the year ends. Next, I go in with some blush. I am a blush girl. I use two different ones now. I use the Milani Blossom Time Rose blush. It's like a shimmer blush. I didn't know it was until I came home and I was like, why is the pink pigment like barely showing up? It's because it's a shimmer blush, so it takes some padding. And then I have this e.l.f. blush. It's also kind of a shimmer blush. I'm tired of doing that. I need a matte, but it's in the shade Blushing. I'm gonna go grab my brushes so we can get this show on the road. Okay, now that we got the stuff, I use this Wet n Wild blush brush. I think it's a blush brush. That's what I use it for, so that's what it's gonna be. And then I go in with the Milani. It kind of like cracked or did something. I don't really know the term, but now there's a gaping hole in the center. So that's always fun. No, I always love doing that. And then I go in and I bring it up. I really can't tell you who said something about it or if I happen to watch someone do it. I'll be watching a lot of different people. And sometimes sometimes I see things in passing, so I just be watching and I don't really pay attention to who I'm watching to. But yeah, I bring the blush up now. I don't just pat it onto the cheek. I bring it up into the temple. I believe that's what it's called anyways. And I just pretty much keep repeating this until I get the desired amount of blush on my cheek. I actually filmed a get ready with me for me going to get my license. Because you know you have to take a photo, and I'm one of those people where it actually matters to me. Like, some people don't care. They'll just go take the photo, pay the money, move on. This is actually very important to me. So, obviously, I did the whole 9 to get ready, the whole shebang. I filmed it, but then I looked at the film, or the footage I should say, and I was like, I don't really feel too hot about this. So I didn't trash it, but I also didn't like do anything to it. I'm still waiting for the physical license to come in. I just have the paper right now. But I'm wondering if I should still like try to do something to that footage and release it anyways. Just because I want to get content out, and I liked the look I did at the end. It's just like I felt it was very bland, and it was also a lot. Like, it was so incredibly long, and I'm barely capable of sitting down and editing a 6-minute video. Like, that first video I put out on this channel, it's only like 6 minutes long, and it probably took me 2 to 3 hours. Maybe, yeah, 2 to 3 hours. Mainly because I was trying to figure out what I was doing. But also because, like, I tend to take a lot of breaks. I sit there for maybe like 3 minutes at a time, do something minor, and then I'm like, okay, time to reward myself for the bare minimum. It's like, what are you doing? Get back to work. So that's usually my issue with editing, and I feel like that's the big piece of doing this and like staying consistent, is like the editing portion. A lot of people might think it's therapeutic and that it's a process they love and enjoy, and I mean, I don't think I don't like it. It's just I'm using the base editor off of my laptop because I'm just trying to get this thing started, and I don't really have a lot of options with it. Like, it does decent, but it doesn't do everything that I want it to. You gotta do what you gotta do when you got. I think I'm still gonna end up trying to do something with that Get Ready With Me, just so I can put it out, but I don't think I'm gonna put it out until the physical, well, no. Here's my thing, I wanted to wait until the physical card came in so I could show you guys like the final result. But then again, I kind of don't want to show my license to the internet, you know what I mean? But I think I will still try to do something to that footage. The e.l.f. blush is a lot looser. I didn't really need a second blush, I just thought this one would be matte. That's why I got it, because I wanted more pink pigment, and it still ended up being a shimmer anyways, so you can imagine the disappointment that I kind of felt, but it's whatever. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, good God, you look like a clown. Mind your business, that's how I like to look. The crazy part is, nobody probably said that, but I like to cover all my bases, because there's always one person who's thinking it. They might not say it, they're always thinking it. Then I go ahead and I put a little on my nose, just because I like it. I like to look like Rudolph. I like to look like Ronald McDonald, you know? It's my fave pastime. And then we're going to get into highlighter. Now, before I put this on my face, I'm gonna set my face. I don't really know how this process usually works in the makeup community or the beauty world. Like I said, I'm just a small town girl. I'm gonna do some makeup So yeah, we're gonna spray real quick. I don't want to open my eyes right away because I don't know how quickly this thing dries, even though I've been using it for like a month or so. And I just don't want to have some in my eye, especially since I'm wearing contacts. You see how it's not gonna work. So now I'm going to take this brush, nothing too special about it. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Apricot Glow, and I'm just gonna put a little on my cheeks. I usually put some on my nose, but I don't know how to feel about doing that today. Like, I don't know if I actually want to do that or not. So we'll see. And I don't have to put a whole lot of this on because the blush is a shimmer, like I've already mentioned, so that already took care of most of the shine. I decided to lightly dust. And then I'm going to plop some of this other highlighter into the inner corner of my eye. This is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder. What shade is this? Oh, Bloom Time. So I'm just going to take this other brush. Just go ahead and plop that into the inner corner. Not inner. I promise you I'm literate. I'll just be having my moments. So I've noticed I've gotten a few new faces since I've started. Welcome to the garden. I don't plan on disappointing you because I'm not that kind of person. So just sit back, enjoy the ride, grow with me. Let's prosper. I think I might want to do another story time, but like I don't really know what to do a story time on. Now we get into the real tea and crumpets. I don't really know. We're getting to my favorite part basically, which is mascara. We zoomed you in so we can get a nice little close-up of what we're about to accomplish here. First though, I'm gonna do these little beauty mark dots with the liquid eyeliner. So I like to put one under the eye. And then I have one under my nose. I'm just gonna do that. I have one on my chin. And then I like to put a couple on the nose, and then I'll probably put one under this eye. So let me just boop, boop, and then it's subtle, like it doesn't have to be outlandish. I just like putting a couple. And let me have my fun. So I'm going to be using two different mascaras. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Telescopic for my top. Then I'm going to use the, I think this is L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly for the bottom. I think I'm going to do the bottom lashes first. So yeah, I just take it like this and I just trying to make sure you can see me. Can you see that? Okay. My eyes tend to get very big while I'm doing this. You know, if you put on mascara, you know the faces that you usually make while you're in this process. It's pretty funny to think about, because it's like, why do I feel the need to look like that while I'm doing this? I don't think I'll ever find out the answer, but that's okay with me, as long as it comes out looking good. So we're just gonna go on with the other side. But yeah, we're already over halfway through November. And then before you know it, December will be here. It's just kind of crazy how this year has really just gone by. I got to do things this year, but like not in the time frame that I originally planned to. It's fine though. My main goal was to get my license, and I did, so. Yeah. Main goal was to get my license, and I did, so that's all that really matters to me. As long as I was able to complete that, I would have felt accomplished this year, no matter what. I also voted, which was cool. Not really cool because this was a very tense election, but I got to be a part of history, so that's always fun. I love doing that. We're going to go ahead and do the lashes. There's really nothing special about what I do. Just kind of go for it.
But yeah, I've been kind of in history since I was born. Like, I was born in 01. We all know what happened in 01 in September, so I'm not really say anything about that, but yeah. That's wild out here.
I recently bought Disney Plus because we had it for a year free thanks to my aunt's Verizon. But then like the year deadline was coming up, so she had to cancel it because she's an adult. She has to pay bills, you know. I'm an adult too, but I don't have to pay bills, so there's the difference. So she had to cancel it, obviously, and so I got my paycheck and I ended up buying it for a year for us, since that was already my plan to just pay her to keep our subscription. But since I already had the money in my account, I figured why not just buy it myself. So that's what I did, and I've been on kind of a Disney kick since. Like, most of these movies I've seen before already, but some of them it might have been years, like with Tinkerbell's Secret of the Wings. Like, I haven't seen that in years. Great movie, by the way. Go watch it if you haven't. And that second Peter Pan, The Return to Neverland, where, you know, they kidnapped Wendy's daughter. Sorry if I spoiled, but yeah. And then what else? Beauty and the Beast, haven't seen that in some time. Sleeping Beauty, haven't seen that in some time. Aladdin. So, you know, just classics that I haven't watched in a while. And really enjoying that. Because I'm a Disney kid. I grew up on their channel. I grew up on their movies. So, huge fan of their work, what they do, how they do it. And I'm also a big animated movie watcher. Like, I'll watch a live action. I'll watch a live action, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no problem. But I tend to prefer the animated life because they can do whatever they want. They can make the characters look any sort of way. They can go on any kind of adventure. They can make the impossible possible in an animated film. So you get a lot more razzle-dazzle and flavor. mean, they could still do crazy cool things with the live action, but that's just kind of what I'm into. So I'm more into animated movies, and I'm very much into musicals, hence why I'm such a heavy Disney kid. Because you know Disney loves themselves a good musical. Are y'all starting to see the difference? Because I am. I've also been starting to use castor oil on my lashes. They're pretty long naturally, but they just seem like they were getting kind of weak and brittle. And like they weren't giving me the results that they used to give. So I was getting a little concerned. So I first started putting like Vaseline on them, and I still do. But now I also put castor oil on like the very edge where the lash and the eyelid connect. Alright, so that's the end of that. I think I'll do a lip look just for the sake of this. We're going to use this e.l.f. lip liner. It's just a mauve liner. We're gonna... Like I said, I'm not really going anywhere. I don't usually go anywhere unless it's like the store or to see my friends. Which I haven't done in eons because we're all busy. Which is kind of cool. I like seeing us all prosper and do well. But yeah, since I'm sitting around the house, I usually wouldn't put anything on my lips. I'm just doing this for the get ready with me sake. Just went in with the Physicians Formula matte liquid lipstick. Don't really know what color it's in. Sorry, it's a velvet. Whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. And then I'm going in with this Too Faced Melted Long Wear lipstick. Golly. In the shade Chihuahua. It's just like a pink color. And I'm gonna plop that right in the center. Go ahead and pat that out. And then I'm going to take the Fenty gloss in Sweet Mouth. Plop that right on top. Voila, that is it for my get ready with me. Now I'm just going to do the setting spray again. Great, I don't know where my fan went. Where, like, oh, great. Then I'm just gonna fan. sometimes if I spray too much, it'll like get into my system, and it did not feel good in my system. I'll tell you that for sure. But yep, that's the end of this. Just cut that light off. I don't know if it got extremely dark or not, because my camera also seems to have a problem with detecting light properly. This is the end result, so. Yep, pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me get dolled up for absolutely no reason. I know I enjoyed it because there's something very therapeutic and calming about just sitting down and doing your makeup. It's like the same feeling I get when I'm doing artwork or journaling, because your brain is just focused on one thing and it gives it time to kind of like fully process and relax with it. When you're doing makeup, you're just focusing on your makeup, kind of zoning out, so it's really relaxing and calming for me. That's all for today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.